Okay, for this project I am using Red Heart Boutique Unforgettable, which is a medium weight 4-ply yarn. It's 100% acrylic, but you can use any type of 4-ply yarn that you have. The color I am using is stained glass, and there are 270 yards or 100 grams per skein, and one skein will be enough to make a woman's size hat. And then I'm using a size I, which is a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. You want to start off with a slip knot on your hook, and then I'm going to start with a chain of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I'm going to slip stitch into the first stitch to form a ring. And if you want to use the magic circle here, you can do that too. Like that. Now I'm going to chain 1. And I'm going to go around and I'm going to put 12 double crochets through the center of the ring. So I'm going to yarn over and go right through the center and double crochet. Oops. Try that again. So that's 1. I'm going to do that a total of 12 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now if you pull your tail, you can usually make that center circle a little smaller. Oh, I just ripped mine off, but like that. And now I'm going to slip stitch into the first double crochet to close this round off. So slip stitch in that first one, just like that. Okay, for the next round, what I'm going to do is put 2 double crochets in every stitch around. So I'm going to start by chaining 1. Now I'm going to work my first 2 double crochets right here where I just slip stitched. So I'm going to yarn over and go right there in that same spot and put 2 double crochets in that same spot. So there's 1 and 2. Now I'm going to go to the next stitch and I'm going to put 2 in that spot. 1, 2, 2 into the next one, and I'm going to repeat this pattern all the way around. And when you get back to the beginning, you should have a total of 24 stitches. Okay, once you make it back around and you count it and you have 24 stitches, go ahead and slip stitch into that first double crochet to close that round out. Now again, it's just going to be a repeat of the round we just did. 2 double crochets in every stitch again. So I'm going to start by chaining 1. And I'm going to go right back into the same stitch that I just slip stitched into and put 2 double crochets. And then I'm going to move to the next stitch and put 2 double crochets. And then 2 in the next. And I'm just repeating the row that I just did, or the round that I just did. And when you get back to the beginning, after doing 2 double crochets in every stitch, You should have a total of 48 stitches after this round. Okay, when you make it back around at the end of that round, go ahead and slip stitch again into your first double crochet. Okay, now this time around, we're going to chain one, and we're going to put one double crochet in this very first stitch that we slip stitched into. So one double. And then we're going to put one double crochet in the next stitch. And then in the next stitch, we're going to put two double crochets in that stitch. Just like that. So again, I'm going to put one double crochet in each of the next two stitches. So one in that stitch, one in the next stitch, and then the next stitch is going to get two double crochets in the same stitch. So every third stitch is going to have two double crochets in it. Again, one double crochet in each of the next two stitches. So one double in the next, one double in the next after that, and then the next stitch is going to get two double crochets in the same stitch. So you want to repeat that pattern all the way around back to the beginning. Okay, when you make it back around, you should have a total of 64 double crochets, and then you want to go ahead and slip stitch into your first one again to close that round off. Okay, now I'm going to chain one, and I'm going to go back into the exact same stitch and single crochet. So now I'm just going to be doing one single crochet in every stitch all the way around the whole piece. So it should be pretty easy now. We're just going to repeat rounds of single crochet. Just like this. So I'm going to keep going around until I get back to my starting point. Okay, when you make it back around, you might want to have a stitch marker at this spot because we're just going to do continual rounds now. So I'm just going to use this piece of yarn and I'm going to stick it right here in between my first and my last stitch. And then instead of slip stitching, I'm not going to be slip stitching the close rounds anymore. I'm just going to jump right over to the first single crochet and single crochet in it. Like that. And I'm going to work my way around again, putting one single crochet in every single stitch. And when I get back to my stitch marker, I will just move it up and continue around again with another round of single crochet. And I'm just going to keep doing continual rounds of single crochet until I get the hat as long as I want it to be, till I get it to where it fits me how I want it to fit me. So I'm not sure how many rows of single or how many rounds of single crochet I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, get finished, and I'll let you know how many total rounds I do here in just a second. Okay, I went ahead and did 25 rows of single crochet, but you can check it on your head, or because if you're using a different yarn than me, maybe one that's a little thicker or a different weight, you might not need as many rows as me, or you might need more, but just get it down to where where it feels comfortable to you. And then when you get back to your stitch marker, just go ahead and slip stitch into the next stitch like that. Pull it up, and then you can tie this off and hide this tail. Okay, now you're going to need 4 stitch markers, and I'm just going to mark off the ear flaps, I'm just going to use these pieces of yarn. Now you can start anywhere you want. Go ahead and just stick a stitch anywhere that you want. And then what you want to, or stick a stitch marker in any stitch, just like I did. And then what you want to do, counting that stitch that the stitch marker's in, count over 12 stitches. and put a stitch marker in the 12th stitch. So counting this one, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 stitch marker. Now we're going to count again. Counting the one after the stitch marker as number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 20. Put a stitch marker in the 24th. Okay? Now counting the one with the stitch marker as number 1. Count over again. 12 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and put a stitch marker. And then you'll have all 4 spots marked off for the ear flaps. Now to do the ear flaps, just start here. And we'll just start in our first one of our, we'll do one side at a time. So go ahead and put start your yarn here. And you can move that stitch marker now. Okay, we'll start, pull your yarn through, and we're going to chain 1. Okay, now we're going to go right back into the same stitch that we just started into and single crochet. And I'm going to go across, putting 1 single crochet in every stitch until I get to my stitch marker. So it should be a total of 12 single crochets because we had 12 spots or 12 stitches. Go ahead and make sure you single crochet into the stitch that the stitch marker's in. Okay, and we can go ahead and remove that stitch marker. They kind of get in my way, so I always move them. And we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. Now we're going to go across again, putting 1 single crochet in every stitch. We're going to start with not this very first one, but this next one. And we'll go across, putting 1 single in every stitch. Don't forget to go into this chain 1 here at the end, otherwise it's going to be kind of lopsided like that. Chain 1 and turn. Again, across 1 single crochet in every stitch. Remembering to go into that chain 1. Chain 1 and turn. Again. Another row of single crochet. You want to do a total of 5 rows of single crochet across. I'm actually on my 4th one now. So go ahead and do 5 rows of 1 single crochet in every stitch. Okay, Okay, I got my 5 rows of single crochet done. Now I'm going to chain 1 and turn. Now I'm going to do a single crochet decrease over these first 2 stitches. So I'm going to start with this one and this one. And I'm going to go in and drop a loop. And I'm going to go into the next one and drop a loop. And I'm going to yarn over and go through all 3 loops. And now I'm going to work my way across, putting 1 single crochet in every stitch. Until I get to the last 3 stitches, and I'm at my last 3. I'm going to single crochet decrease over these 2, go in, drop a loop, go into the next one, drop a loop, yarn over and go through all 3 loops, and then I'm going to go ahead and put a single crochet into the last stitch, like that. Okay. Now I'm going to chain 1 and turn, and I'm going to go across putting 1 single crochet in every stitch. Should have a total of 10 now, counting this chain 1. Always make sure you're going into the end stitch. And that's 10. Now I'm going to do a row of decreases again. I'm going to chain 1 and turn. Okay, I'm going to decrease over these 2 stitches. So I chain 1 and turn. I'm going to go into this next stitch and drop a loop, and then the next one after that, drop a loop, yarn over and go to all 3. Now I'm going to work my way across until like 1 single crochet in every stitch until I get to my last 3 stitches. When I get to my last 3, single crochet over these 2, or single crochet decrease over those 2, and then single crochet into the last. Chain 1 and turn, 1 single crochet in every stitch. This time you should have 8 stitches, counting that chain 1 we just did, so that counts as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this last one here makes 8. Like that. Now I'm going to do the same thing again. Chain 1 and turn. Decrease over this stitch and this stitch. Like that. 1 single crochet in every stitch until you get to the last 3. And here they are. Decrease over these 2. And then single crochet in the last. Chain 1 and turn. Now I'm going to go across putting 1 single crochet in every stitch, and you should have 6 this time, counting that chain 1. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the last one makes 6. Chain 1 and turn. I'm going to decrease again over these first 2 stitches. Like that. And then there's 3 left, so I'm going to decrease over the next 2 stitches. And then single crochet in the last. Chain 1 and turn. Now I should have 4, counting that chain 1. That's 2, 3, and 4. So that is my first ear flap. I'll probably go ahead and do it one more time. I'm going to chain 1 and turn, and I'm going to decrease again just to make it a little bit smaller. So all I got to do is decrease over these 2 stitches like that, and then single crochet into the last like that, chain 1 and turn, and just single crochet in the last stitches. And tie that off. So that wasn't really that wasn't hard. So that's one ear flap there. I'm going to go ahead and do the other ear flap the exact same way. Okay, once you get your other ear flap made without tying off, I'm going to go around it all, both your flaps and the whole bottom of the hat, with a row of single crochet. So, just to kind of clean up the edges. So I'm just going to continue around now, putting 1 single crochet in every stitch. And just kind of go around and do the best you can at spacing your single crochets out. And it doesn't have to be perfect or anything. Because some of these are gonna be hard to tell where they go. But all this is doing is just cleaning up all these edges, making it look kind of neater. So I went down that side of the ear flap. Now I'm just gonna start going around the whole hat again until I get to the other ear flap, and I'll just do the same all the way around the whole piece, row of single crochet around both ear flaps until I get back to where I just started. Okay, once you made it back to your starting stitch, just go ahead and slip stitch into that single crochet that you kind of started going around with. Clip that off, and then you want to hide these tails, and you can see that it kind of cleaned up the edges nice. Okay, what I'm doing now is I made 3 pom-poms about the same size. I made one just a little bit bigger to go on top, and then 2 pretty much the same size to hook on the end of our ear flaps. Now if you don't know how to make a pom-pom, there's on YouTube there's plenty of other really good YouTubers that can show you how to do that, or if you have a pom-pom maker, that's even easier to do. But to sew it on, it's real easy. I'm just going to use my yarn needle. and a couple pieces of yarn, probably the ones that I tied up my pom-pom with. And if you don't have that, just take a couple pieces of yarn, put them on your needle, like that, and come over here to the end of your ear flap, and I'm just going to sew it on. Go right through, and I'm going to grab the center piece that holds the pom-pom, go under it, and then I'm going to go through the ear flap again, make sure it's really tight, and then I'm going to go through that piece again on the pom-pom, that tie that holds the center tie that holds it together, like that. And I'm just going to do that a couple times to get it on here really good, so I feel like it's not going to come off. And then once you got it on there really tight and you think it's not going to come off, you can just weave these tails in to ear flap area. It's kind of hard to see, I guess, with all these thingies hanging, but then you just weave your tails in. Another thing that works well with pom-poms, which I usually always do, and I'll probably do with these, is I get a low heat hot glue gun, and I'll put a dab here and hold it really tight until it dries, and it won't come off then. And hot glue, it works really good with yarn. It's going to hold it really good. Just make sure that it's low heat, otherwise sometimes the high heats tend to burn it up a little bit. So, but it's really easy to get it sewed on here to the end. And then you just do the same. You want to sew it on both ends, and then you do the same and sew one right up here at the top. Okay, once you get them sewed on real tight, remember you can always do the hot glue here and up underneath this big pom-pom around, kind of smash it down a little bit, and then it won't come off for sure. So I know sometimes it's hard to get them pom-poms sewed on. Or it is for me anyways. And then I kind of always just go back through after it's finished and kind of hold the hat up and fix any of the pom-pom strings that are off. But that's it. And I got these little fibers are floating around everywhere from this yarn going in my nose, itching me. But that's it. That's all there is to it. It's pretty easy. It turned out pretty cute. I hope you enjoyed my tutorial. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to come check me out on Facebook.